If you guys remember me talking last week about when the Ravens beat the Jets, that this offense wasn't going to get it done, that the way that they were executing was not going to get it done, it showed face in this game against the Bengals. You can get away with playing garbage like they have been against Tyrod Taylor and the Jets, against Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins, against J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. You're not getting away with that against Joe Burrow. You're not getting away with that against Drake May, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Mahomes. You're not going to get away with playing this kind of offense and expecting to win the game. To add on to that, you have 5 turnovers. That's just flat out unacceptable. Lamar Jackson had a terrible game. It was atrocious, honestly, in my opinion. Two, I think, really boneheaded fumbles. The first one was just screwing around with the football, not having a tight grip on it, not valuing the football. And the second one, he had Zay Flowers on a route, tried to pump fake it, and then dropped it. If you're going to pump fake, you got to hold on to the ball, flat out. We understand the concept, but you have to hang on to the football. That's the most important thing. And then the interception, again, fading back, the play's not really there. You're trying to make something out of nothing. Ball gets tipped and it's intercepted. I can't even really kill the defense right now because of how inept the offense was. The defense was on the field way too long, entirely too long, to the point where they started to wear down. You could see it. You're sitting at 6-6. A lot of people are wondering if it's even worth having the Ravens make the playoffs because they're probably going to be a one and done anyway. That's what's being said right now. I don't believe that right now, even after this bad loss. But you got to look at the stats. The Ravens are 0-6 against teams with, in my opinion, a really good to elite quarterback. C.J. Stroud, Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, now Joe Burrow. That's 0-6. So, yeah, all that we know about this Ravens team so far at the point that we are in the season is that, yeah, you can beat up on bad teams. You can beat up on the Dolphins. You can beat up on the Jets. You can beat up on Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and the Browns. But when it comes to playing against a real opponent with a good to an elite quarterback or a really good defense like the Houston Texans, this is what we see. You got to figure it out. Lamar Jackson, you got to figure it out. I'm not gonna put injuries. I'm not gonna make any kind of excuses. These were boneheaded turnovers, a bad interception, really bad misses on throws. I mean, Keith Mitchell's going out for a screen and you just throw it right in the dirt. Mark Andrews is open a bunch of times. You throw it too short or you overthrow him. This is rhythm. This is execution. This is bad quarterback play. It is what it is. I'm not going to blame the injuries. I'm not going to blame the missed practice time. And the reason I say this is because Lamar's better than that. We know this. We've seen it too many times. So we're not going to all of a sudden try to make excuses just because, he's been banged up this season. We know that. But last night, in my opinion, had nothing to do with injuries or lack of practice, anything like that. It was just bad quarterback play. Looked really good after the first drive. You went down, you scored a touchdown, Henry ran it in, but overall, you see the bad misses and you see the poor execution. It's simply not going to get it done. And you got a short amount of time to figure it out because the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming in here and they're fighting just like us for really the only chance that the Ravens might get into the playoffs is winning the AFC North at this point. Because you look at the playoff picture, I can see the final game at Pittsburgh coming down to whoever wins that game is going on to the playoffs and the loser's probably going to go home. It's got to be better. Isaiah Likely fumbling right in the end zone, trying to stick the ball out and everything. Did we not learn anything from Zay Flowers in the AFC Championship game? Run through it or just go down. Don't extend. You're putting the ball in harm's way, and great play by I believe Jordan Battle, the Cincinnati Bengals. Great play by him. He didn't give up on the play, and he swiped at the ball and got a turnover. But Isaiah Likely, come on, man. We already seen this so many times. Did you not learn from Zay Flowers? It's okay if you go down at the 2 or 3 yard line. We have an offense, you would think, with Derrick Henry enough to at least punch it in from that point with how bad the Cincinnati Bengals defense has been all season long. Lamar Jackson and the offense made this Bengals defense, who was historically bad and still is historically bad. I'm talking about in the last 50 years. You made this defense look elite. Let's call it what it is. You made this defense look elite. Where is Zay Flowers in the offense? For most of the game, he had 1 yard. I don't understand how that happens. Things like that don't make sense to me. That's just schematically impossible. Zay Flowers is too good of a receiver to have 1 yard receiving throughout most of the game. Nate Wiggins has gone out with a foot injury. We're not sure how much time he's going to miss, or if any at all, but it didn't look good. We'll have to see what happens there. But that 5-game winning streak, people had questions about it the entire time, and people were doubting that. I was one of those people that said, hey, at 1-5, the Ravens season is still not over because of the schedule. It was more because of the opponents. Not because of how great you were or why we're not playing. You skated by during this 5-game winning streak. Let's call it what it is. You skated by on mid to poor execution on offense, playing great defense, but again, it was against bad teams, bad quarterback play. You lose this game at home against Pittsburgh on December 7th. It's hard to keep faith for the rest of the season. It's hard to even if you somehow do make the playoffs, because you got to go back. Because guess what? After this game, after this game against Pittsburgh, you got to go to Cincinnati and play Burrow again. Are we really confident right now? Let's be honest. So you lose this game at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What confidence do we have that you can go on the road and beat Joe Burrow, who just put a hurting on you, and then turn around and play Drake May in the first place New England Patriots, and then go on the road at Green Bay to take on Jordan Love, who just got finished dismantling the Detroit Lions? What faith do we have? This is a massive, massive season-implicating game coming up with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's going to tell me all I need to know. Like, you managed to get here at 6-6 after starting 1-5. That's great, but at some point in time, you're going to have to play good teams. You're going to have to beat good quarterbacks. You're going to have to play against good defenses, better than the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Like, last night, you just made them elite. But you're going to play against better. Pittsburgh Steelers defense is much better than Cincinnati's defense. I'm going to be sure I'm clear about that. They're a lot better than Cincinnati. So if you're going to play like that, you have no chance against Pittsburgh. It's simply not good enough.